First life, my sister-in-law brought her 5-year-old niece. She became a famous blogger, but all her posts were provocative, suggestive videos. Seeing the vulgar comments, I warned my brother and sister-in-law not to sacrifice our little girl's future for money. My niece grew up safe, but her education was a mess. After my sister-in-law had her second child, my niece was forced to drop out of school and marry. The boy she liked fell for another internet celebrity, a blogger, and in the end, she attacked me with a knife, killing me. My mother said that if I hadn't interfered, she would have become a famous internet supermodel much sooner. She claimed I ruined her and wanted me to pay with my life. I died filled with bitter resentment. I opened my eyes and found myself back on the day my sister-in-law showed me her newly posted video. I smiled faintly. "Beauty is the greatest capital," I said. "Our little Lily was born with a star's face. She must live by it." "Look, I just posted a picture, and the comments section is already exploding." My sister-in-law, Stella, said with a deliberately sweet, adorable voice. 5-year-old Lily, sucking on a lollipop, sat on the sofa with a bewildered expression. The pain from the knife wounds that killed me in my previous life hadn't completely faded. Seeing this scene, a chill ran down my spine. Heaven has eyes. I had been reborn, returned to before everything went wrong. In my previous life, Stella had done the same thing, posting online, asking, "Can my daughter be a child model like this?" My niece had been beautiful since childhood, with eyes like 2 juicy grapes, fair skin, and long, curling eyelashes that softened anyone's heart. Initially, Stella only wanted to satisfy her vanity, but she didn't expect such an overwhelming response in the comments. It was all praise. The internet truly was a lucrative feast. Stella immediately conceived the idea of turning my niece into an internet celebrity and child model. My brother, Ben, was the family's only hope. He had been spoiled since childhood, lacked initiative, and couldn't earn money. My mother passed away early. He was the only one in the house who truly loved me. My father, when young, favored sons over daughters, drank, and was violent. Even in old age, he hadn't changed, spoiling Ben to the point of ruin. "Sister, what do you think of this?" Just like in my previous life, Ben never dared to make decisions on his own. When something came up, he'd rush to ask me. Last time, just seeing the picture Stella posted, I immediately rejected the idea. My niece's face was beautiful, but Stella's dressing style for her was all about the cool queen look, a seductive style entirely inappropriate for her age. After Stella posted videos of my niece, she indeed became famous for a while, but troubles followed quickly. Some fanatic fans started finding their home address and sent extremely offensive items. The internet was a mix of good and bad. Before she could become a proper influencer, the comments section was filled with lewd suggestions. I thoroughly analyzed the pros and cons, advising them not to let profit cloud their judgment. Under my persuasion, Stella abandoned the idea, and the family went back to living on Ben's 3,000 yuan salary and my financial support. But Lily, though growing up safely, never learned to strive. Her academic results were dismal. She skipped school every day for early romances, completely inheriting Ben's lazy, carefree nature. At this point, Stella became pregnant with her second child. When my nephew was born, Lily lost her sole support. After being admitted to a vocational school, she was forced to drop out. Back home, everyone focused on earning money to buy a house for my brother. My sister-in-law, Stella, always subtly or directly implied that all this was my fault, saying I had ruined Lily's dream of fame. Otherwise, she would have been famous across social media by now. Actually, I always felt great sympathy for this little niece. Her family background, like mine, was one where sons were favored over daughters. I had once intended to help her out. Unexpectedly, a video of the boy she secretly liked with an influencer couple deeply shocked her. She grabbed a knife, burst into my house, and hacked me to death in my sleep. "It's all your fault. You left me with nothing, made me suffer. I have to kill you." After I died, my soul didn't immediately dissipate. I witnessed my entire family, whom I had once supported, turn into actors fighting over my assets. Hatred crushed my soul. Heaven has eyes. I opened my eyes and came back to life, returning to before everything happened. Looking at the 3 people before me, I smiled. "Of course, it's fine. Beauty is a valuable asset. You should earn this money." Usually, I would weigh the pros and cons of any situation before telling them what to do. Stella was stunned, not expecting me to object at all. Then she immediately beamed. "So, it's decided then," Ben said. "Fanny, you studied design, shouldn't you buy Lily some nice clothes? Otherwise, being an influencer won't be easy." The three of them had always lived off me, yet they always called me by my name directly, showing no respect. But now I didn't care anymore. "Stella, I don't have children, nor do I know how to dress kids. I'll transfer some money, consider it seed funding for you." Stella joyfully hugged Lily. "Oh, your aunt is the best." I chuckled coldly to myself. I would absolutely not get involved in this mess again. I wanted to see what kind of transformation Stella would give Lily. It must be said that Stella's money-making ability was truly impressive. Within just 1 month, the account was genuinely established. Lily was now a child star with 200,000 followers. Stella excitedly showed me her bank statement. "Look, didn't I tell you that making money online is as easy as pie? This month, we've earned over 20,000 yuan. Isn't that far better than your terrible job?" They also came from a family that favored sons, so they couldn't understand why. Even in the same circumstances, my mother back then was willing to go hungry and without new clothes, working as a dishwasher just to put me through university. They often badmouthed me behind my back, saying my mother was a confused old woman. It's good she died early, otherwise who knows how much more money would have been wasted on Fanny. In their minds, that money should rightfully have belonged to Ben. Wedding expenses, dowry, everything should go to my brother. Ben was my father's favorite. My father used to hit and scold my mother, but spoiled Ben beyond compare. He told everyone he met that he relied on Ben for a comfortable life in the future, while my mother and I were useless. I had been burdened with the role of a mother-like elder sister. Ben, of course, treated me terribly. Only when he needed me to do something or buy household items would he be pleasant. With mother gone early, the whole family pressured me with the title, sister like a mother. Looking back, I realized how foolish I was to dedicate myself wholeheartedly to them in my previous life. I looked at the video. Lily's innocent face appeared bewildered yet suggestive, her short skirt barely covering her thighs. I chuckled, praising Stella for her skill. Ben came home from work, bursting into the house in a rage. He kicked the table hard, sending yogurt splattering. Lily, sitting on the sofa, burst into tears, terrified. Stella froze, then shouted, "Are you crazy? If you're sick, get out." Ben looked at Lily, wearing a super short dress, a backless top, and lipstick that was too mature for her age. His anger flared even more intensely. "Look at the great job you've done. What has our daughter become?" "Do you know what my colleagues said today when they saw Lily's video?" Ben choked, unable to finish his sentence, but everyone understood what he meant to say. The lewd comments in the video were numerous, but Stella pretended not to see them, ignoring them if she couldn't delete them in time. This was the first time Stella had seen Ben so furious. She glanced at me, and seeing that I didn't speak up to defend her, she plopped onto the floor, wailing. "Oh, my fate is so bitter, and my daughter's too. When I was making money, you said nothing, but now you're blaming me. Can your 2,000 or 3,000 yuan salary feed 5 mouths?" I thought to myself, Ben truly was weakening. His salary really wasn't enough. The whole family had always relied on me. So how much had she even earned? This month, just for styling and buying clothes, how much has been spent? You do the math. Stella still wanted to argue, but then my father in the north room heard the commotion and came out. He hated noisy crying scenes the most. As soon as he saw Lily and Stella sitting on the floor crying, he roared in anger. The drama ended there. I watched the chaotic family with a sense of relief. Keep arguing, keep yelling, this is just the beginning. The good days for this family were still ahead. Stella was hesitant at first, but after Ben's furious outburst that day, all her courage dissipated, not to mention he also regretted the loss of income from the videos. Lily developed extremely quickly. Children at this age learn anything fast. Her poses, gestures, and even expressions were very professional, as if she had been trained. Stella pushed further. From initially slightly suggestive photos, she transitioned entirely to shooting videos, even opening polls in the comments section for people to choose the next outfit, all of which were backless, midriff-bearing, or super short. But along with that came more than just vulgar comments. Fanatics found Lily's home address and sent sexually suggestive lingerie and other implicit items. Stella and Ben discussed it, beginning to feel frightened, and decided to report it to the police. But just then, something happened to Lily at kindergarten. Lately, Lily had rarely attended class because she was about to graduate. Many other children had already moved to pre-primary classes, so the kindergarten wasn't paying much attention. The more famous Lily became online, the more domineering she became at school, praised to the point of developing princess syndrome, behaving nothing like a child. Even when she came to class, she wore spaghetti-strap tops, short shorts, and heavy makeup. Stella called this the quality of a child influencer, saying she always had to be beautiful and radiant. Everyone at school felt uneasy. Normal people knew the influence of this was very bad, but considering Lily would graduate in just over 10 days, they didn't want to make a big deal of it. Moreover, who didn't know that Lily's mother was an unruly and cunning person? That day after school, as Lily's class was dismissed and the teacher was leading the children out to their parents, a fat man with an oily face suddenly rushed over and tightly hugged Lily. The teacher was scared to death by the scene, children around screamed in chaos, and parents quickly pulled their children away. 2 security guards struggled to pull the man off. Lily's face was tear-stained, and her clothes were disheveled from being pulled. Just then, Stella arrived. Seeing the scene, she went ballistic. While being held back by security, she pulled out her phone to record, pointing directly at the man's face and cursing, "You vile beast, you won't even spare a child. I've recorded it all. My daughter is famous, just wait for netizens to deal with you." The man let out a sinister laugh, his face filled with satisfaction. "Didn't you make those videos for this very reason? Look at that little flirt. What quality does she have left?" Stella, enraged, swung her handbag at his face. The chain on the bag hit his eye, and blood immediately gushed out. He clutched his face, groaning, and crumpled to the ground. That afternoon, I was woken from my nap by a call from Ben. He told me to bring my bank card to the police station, saying someone had harmed Lily at the kindergarten, and Stella had hit the man to protect her daughter. Now they were in trouble, and I had to take care of it. I suddenly remembered it was exactly the same in my previous life. They were his wife and biological child, yet he always made me pay to solve their problems. I paid for their tuition, bought their clothes. I even contributed to Ben's wedding expenses. They had brainwashed me into believing the whole family had sacrificed for my university education, and that's why my brother couldn't afford to study abroad and was now a failure. My mother died early, and I, as the eldest sister, had to act like a mother. So, Ben treated me like his mother. But in truth, even when my mother was alive, he treated her terribly. All that brainwashing made me believe it was my responsibility if my brother couldn't support his family. Whatever my niece needed, I had to provide. Now, living this life again, I realized my father then only wanted to invest in Ben, even planning to marry me off early to fund his education, making my mother wash dishes for every penny to help me continue studying. As for Ben dropping out, it was because he couldn't grasp academics, skipped school every day, associated with questionable girls, played games, and pool. Thinking of all that, I shifted to a more comfortable position and replied indifferently, "Is it that serious, Ben? But I'm out of money." Ben anxiously asked where I had spent all my money. Before, I was so foolish, saving every penny for myself but generously spending on my family, truly a genuine doormat. When they asked how much I had saved, I never hid anything, telling them everything. Since childhood, I longed for family affection, thinking that if I sacrificed, they would be grateful or at least maintain the facade of a harmonious family. Because of this, they didn't need to find ways. They could naturally extract money from me. My savings were no different from money in their accounts. But this, by chance, now favored me who had lived a life again. I feigned helplessness, my voice choked with emotion. "I was afraid of worrying you, so I didn't dare to say anything. My design studio suffered losses, couldn't pay rent, all my partners left, and I'm deeply in debt. People came to trash my shop, and I even got hurt. Otherwise, why haven't I visited you all these days?" Recently, they had been making a fortune with videos, so they didn't need me anymore. Only after saying this did I realize I truly hadn't shown up for a long time. I then heard Stella wailing on the phone, cursing me for being unreliable at such a crucial time. She then snatched the phone, changing her tone to flattering. "Fanny, sister, please think of a way to help us. All your designer friends are rich. Can you borrow some money for us? Save our family from this difficulty." HMPH, still trying to brainwash me? I scoffed. The more pathetic they were, the happier I was. I said, "Sister-in-law, I'm truly out of options. Before, you said Ben couldn't make money, so I had to support the family. Now you're an influencer, famous for your short videos. Who doesn't know our family has a child influencer? You show me your back-end earnings every day. Why are you asking me for money now? I'm short on cash myself lately. I was about to ask you and Ben for some. How can my meager job earn as much as you two? Last time, I even saw your back-end earnings. One video was already 5 figures." Ben's urgent voice blurted out, "What nonsense are you talking about?" But it was too late. On the other end of the line, the police's voice rang out. "If you have money, sort it out privately. Don't waste everyone's time." Followed by the sounds of the two sides arguing. As soon as I heard Stella wailing, I immediately guessed Ben had put her on speakerphone. He wanted the other side to hear me say I had no money, proving their family truly couldn't afford to pay. Unexpectedly, I had turned the tables on him. I chuckled to myself, pleased. The best part of the drama was yet to come. The studio story was a fabrication. In reality, my career was continuously advancing. My design work had just won the Gold Award at this year's Qingxin Awards. I had already transferred my old studio. After attending the awards ceremony, I would move to a new location and expand its scale. That's why I no longer bothered with their trivial family matters. No longer rushing around for them, I had more time to develop myself and enjoy life. The next time they called to bother me, I was booking plane tickets. This time, it was my father who spoke. It turned out that Stella had argued persistently, coupled with the other party's misconduct. After bargaining, they had to compensate 10,000 yuan in medical fees, and that was the end of it. But Stella's suggestive videos of her daughter had attracted attention. Within days, the videos were continuously reported and deleted. The kindergarten also firmly requested Lily's withdrawal from school. The reason was that Lily's behavior had seriously affected the school's reputation. This was a top private kindergarten in the city. Back then, I had to pull strings and pay high tuition fees to get her in. Now, they were placing all their hopes on me. "Fanny, Lily's situation has escalated. She's about to enter first grade, and no school dares to accept her. Contact your friends, see if they can help her get into a temporary school. Now our family has no income, we all live on my pension. You're smart. Think of a new way for your brother and sister-in-law to earn money. This concerns your niece's future. You must take this seriously." I immediately understood why he was speaking up. The schooling was just an excuse. His real goal was his pension, not to get any help from me. I sighed. "Dad, I want to help, but my friend has transferred jobs." Hearing a series of frustrated sighs and stutters from the other end, I almost burst out laughing. I continued to add fuel to the fire. Actually, it might not be a bad thing. Making those suggestive videos for Lily to earn money can't last long. Now, live stream selling is popular. You need to seize the opportunity while Lily is still young and adorable. Shifting to being a child model is the sustainable path. The internet has no memory, and once she's famous, even aristocratic schools will be scrambling to accept her. Who knows, Lily might even become a brand ambassador, with all tuition fees waived. A cacophony of arguments immediately erupted on the other end of the line. My fabricated excuses were met with agreement from both Stella and my father. Ben didn't say much, but I knew that eventually they would agree and follow through because, in their eyes, money was the most important thing. Lily, this little girl, was merely a tool for making money in their eyes. Sure enough, after that, they stopped bothering me. I successfully attended the awards ceremony and took a trip around as well. These past few days, I had been secretly monitoring Stella's accounts. She had archived all the previous suggestive videos and switched to posting purely fashion-related ones. Thanks to her lingering popularity, she still managed to sign a few advertising contracts. But being a serious child model was vastly different from making clickbait videos. The competition was much fiercer. Lily was at an age where she grew quickly. Her face was chubby and her small legs resembled lotus roots, adorable to look at. But that figure was only suitable for the suggestive child videos from before. Now, to do fashion shoots and walk runways, her physique had to be strictly managed, and weight loss was a process that required time and perseverance. Stella, however, had tasted the sweet allure of quick money. She didn't want to wait. She chose the fastest and most ruthless method, forced dieting. Normally, when filming scenes like attending events, she would even prepare eye-catching bento boxes, trying to build an image of someone who ate constantly but never gained weight. But in reality, as soon as they returned to their dorm, Stella immediately made Lily stick her fingers down her throat and throw up. She craved fame and money to the point of madness. To achieve her goals, she controlled Lily's diet extremely strictly. Every day after eating in front of the camera, Lily was forced to induce vomiting, and most of the time she wasn't even allowed to eat. I had truly seen the full extent of her depravity. She didn't spare even her own child. Every time the delicious taste of food barely touched Lily's tongue, the next tormenting pain followed. Lily resisted and cried, but it was useless, only making her mother punish her more severely. Yet the child still maintained her princess syndrome. Her inherently spoiled and pampered nature was deeply ingrained. After the awards ceremony, I returned for a visit. In that time, Lily had lost nearly 10 kilograms. Her chubby face was now a standard oval. Her small legs emerged from her dress, which couldn't even cover all the bruises. Her whole body was frail, but her face still maintained an arrogant expression. "You're back," Grandma said. "You were hiding because creditors were chasing you." "Why so fast? Back already?" "Of course, to watch this princess's grand performance. You're a child star now, aren't you? You'll be a supermodel in the future. Make your aunt happy. Who knows, you might share some profits with me." Lily then threw the bag she was holding onto the floor and ordered me to pick it up. I had long known that with such parents, nothing good could ever be raised. I only pitied my past self, who failed to see the child's inherent malice and treated her with all my heart. I deliberately provoked her. "Oh, Lily, you're a child star, but why are you getting thinner every day? You're too thin, you've lost your charm. It's not pretty. Doesn't your mother buy you delicious food?" As I predicted, Lily didn't understand the implication, opened her mouth and burst into loud sobs, throwing things around as she cried. "My mother is a witch. She doesn't give me good food." In this house, crying seemed to be a taboo, especially when my father, the patriarch who favored sons, was present. He couldn't stand noise in the house. Every time Lily cried, he would glare at Stella, annoyed as if it was all her fault. And then Stella would unleash all her anger on Lily. Taking advantage of the chaos in the house, I moved out completely. My new studio also began renovations. This time, none of them knew. As Lily grew older, she also began to develop awareness, realizing her pathetic situation and trying to resist her mother. But this only made Stella more furious, leading to heavier verbal and physical abuse. Until one night, when Stella, as usual, opened a live stream, using Lily's pretty image to attract fans, Lily did something that shocked viewers. She deliberately extended her arm, full of wounds, in front of the camera, exposing the long-term signs of abuse. It was clearly the riskiest method, but also the most effective. Lily, so young, yet so cunning. That scene quickly caused a fierce uproar online. Experts stepped forward to verify, stating that Lily's current complexion and pale lips were clear signs of frequent forced vomiting and malnutrition. Netizens collectively expressed their indignation and astonishment. They began to condemn Stella, demanding she return the money earned through her live stream sales. Some even dug up previous suggestive photos Stella had taken of Lily to attract views. Under the pressure of public opinion and attacks from netizens, Stella fell into unprecedented panic and despair. She didn't want to pay the money, nor did she want to be attacked online. She began to look for a scapegoat to divert public attention. As expected, very quickly, she thought of me. Stella called me while I was on vacation. She cried on the phone, lamenting her current situation. "Fanny, sister, you can't not help me. You know I've been wronged. How much I love Lily." I feigned anger. Lily truly was out of line to harm you like that, wasn't she? You should quickly issue a clarification." Of course, I knew she couldn't clarify anything. Sure enough, in the very next second, Stella's true motive became clear, begging me for financial help to deal with the upcoming compensation. I scoffed. "Irony, you know I'm hiding from creditors myself." With that, I hung up and turned off my phone. A week later, when I turned my phone back on, it was overwhelmed with calls. My inbox was also flooded with curses. I went to Stella's personal page. Just as I predicted a few days earlier, she had posted a video with Ben and Lily, crying and lamenting their plight, blaming all the wrongdoing on me. Both my husband and I are simple country folk with little education. How could we know what's suggestive or live streaming? We trusted Fanny because she went to university, who knew she would harm our child like this. Yes, Aunt Fanny hit me. I didn't want to wear those clothes, and she choked me and wouldn't let Mommy feed me. Lily is so hungry, Lily doesn't want to throw up anymore. The video also included an audio recording of me saying I had no money and images they somehow obtained of me shopping and going out. I looked at the family of 3, whom I had helped step by step, now turning their backs and betraying me, and I felt nauseous. In that video, I was depicted as a cruel, heartless person who had abused Lily and then ignored them when things fell apart, offering no help. The video quickly went viral. I bore the brunt of intense online bullying. For a while, I became a public enemy. Netizens, without caring about right or wrong, competed to insult and attack me. Stella's family of 3, however, received much sympathy, even taking advantage of the opportunity to earn a large sum from live streams. They signed numerous advertising and event contracts, changing cars, buying handbags, clothes, and dining at fancy restaurants. This family literally ate and drank over my head, yet saved nothing. But when the scandal erupted, all contracts and advertisements were canceled, and they had to pay compensation for breach of contract. All goods sold were demanded to be returned. They had no relatives or friends to begin with, and now everyone avoided them like the plague. They sold almost all their belongings to cover that huge deficit. At this critical moment, something happened to Lily again. When I arrived at the hospital, Lily was lying in the hospital bed, her face pale, covered with tiny red spots, her skin on her hands ulcerated, and her entire body emaciated. During this period, Stella had strictly forced the child to diet and frequently induced vomiting, leading to severe malnutrition. Now, even though she ate normally, her body couldn't absorb nutrients anymore. She would eat and then throw up. Yet to maintain her cute and obedient image, Ben and Stella gave her growth-inhibiting drugs. Now her body had developed severe intolerance reactions. "How dare you show your face here? It's all your fault our whole family ended up like this, you plague." Stella, seeing me, immediately collapsed onto the floor, wailing and throwing a tantrum. "Fanny, what are you doing here? Come to see us in disgrace? Go pay the hospital fees. She's your niece. I'm your own brother." Ben shamelessly tried to brainwash me again, but his first sentence was correct. I really was here to watch the show. My father, thinking things were still as they were, yelled at home that he could scold me. "Look at the mess you've caused. How can your brother clean it up? As an elder sister like a mother, you can't just live comfortably like this. We educated you. Do you deserve this?" Fortunately, I had completely lost hope in them. I had known their ungrateful nature for a long time, so now I couldn't be hurt anymore. I replied coldly, "Find some shame. My education was paid for by my mother and me washing dishes. When my mother was alive, I don't need to elaborate on how you treated my mother and me. All these years, the money I've spent on your family, big or small, I've shouldered it all. Even if there was a debt of upbringing, it's all settled now." Ben knew he was at a disadvantage and retreated to a corner, not daring to speak. My father raised his hand to hit me but forgot this was a hospital, not a place where he could do as he pleased. I had already called the police before coming here, and at that very moment, the police arrived, ready to arrest them. "Are you Ben and Stella? We've received complaints, suspecting you of defamation, slandering another person's reputation, online fraud, and child abuse. Please cooperate with the investigation." Stella's legs went limp upon hearing this, and she collapsed to the ground. Ben still tried to struggle. "Misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding." My father, seeing this, became so stressed that he fell ill. As for me, I felt nothing, only hoping the police would deal with them strictly. I went home to await news. During this time, I had moved all my work to the next door office, preparing my savings, ready to relocate and start a new life. I applied to a design academy in Milan, submitting my application to study abroad. At the same time, there was new news from their side. Without me needing to intervene, things changed. Stella suffered severe morning sickness in detention. A medical examination confirmed she was pregnant. Carrying the first grandson of the Zhang family, my father will surely find every way to get her out. Stella blamed everything on Ben, using her pregnancy as an excuse, and was quickly released. My father finally dug into his savings, paid the fines actively, and helped Ben get a reduced sentence. Only 2 years in prison. Of course, I wouldn't let things rest there. I proactively offered to take Lily home and care for her for a few days so Stella could have peace of mind during her pregnancy. Stella, of course, didn't believe I was so kind, but she didn't care. She had already had someone check the ultrasound and knew for sure it was a healthy baby boy. Lily no longer had any exploitable value. In her words, Lily was just a debt disguised as a person. So she didn't object at all. She let me take Lily. I had given them a chance. Now don't blame me for being heartless. This year, Lily was old enough to enter first grade. But back then, Stella, to let her focus on being an internet star, deliberately postponed her schooling. She'd put it nicely, saying that girls who started school a few years later would be smarter and learn faster. Now, the child's body was thin and withered, looking neither healthy nor beautiful. She looked at the other children, happily carrying school bags to school, with longing eyes and unconcealed resentment. "What's wrong, Lily? Not happy? Have some fried chicken. Auntie bought it especially for you." I asked casually, handing Lily a piece of fried chicken and a sandwich. Auntie is the best to me. My mother is a witch, truly useless. I hate her to death. All the money I earn in the future, I'll give it to Auntie. Auntie doesn't have children. From now on, just consider me your child, okay? Over the years, they had feared I would get a boyfriend and marry, no longer bringing money home, so they successively sabotaged all my relationships. Afterward, I devoted all my energy to my career and didn't start a family. In recent days, Lily's health had improved slightly. She could reluctantly eat a few bites. She deliberately imitated Sister Kyan's tone to talk to me. I looked at the wide-eyed little wolf acting, outwardly feigning endless regret. Yes, that's right, Lily is a good child. What a pity, I said, pretending to be heartbroken. Lily used to be so pretty, she would surely become a beloved little star when she grew up. But your muddled mother ruined your health. Now you're not pretty anymore. Mommy is about to give birth to a baby brother. What if he bullies Lily then? Auntie is truly worried about you. I watched Lily's small face twist into a grimace, clenching her hands into fists. I knew the time had come. Less than a few days later, Lily cried, demanding to go back to her mother. She pleaded with me to let her stay at home for a few days. The next day, just after I had taken her back, I received a call to the hospital. Stella had stepped on a Lego brick on the stairs, tumbled head over heels, and hit the back of her head hard against a wall corner. She died instantly. I looked at Lily, cowering in the corner, and I had my answer. I received an invitation letter from the Milan Design Academy. My application had been accepted. Next month, I would embark on a new journey. After suffering continuous blows, his beloved son in prison and his treasured grandson dying unexpectedly, my father fell ill and couldn't get up. Lily, without a guardian, was sent back to Stella's hometown, a crowded place where sons were favored and living conditions were extremely poor. Lily's future would undoubtedly be very difficult. These reborn days passed quickly. The great hatred had been avenged, and those who deserved to die had died. The only thing was, sometimes in my nightmares, I still saw the faces of those three people. During 7 years abroad, I dedicated myself entirely to my career, winning numerous major design awards. In the 3rd year, I met my current partner. We were soulmates and quickly married. When our daughter was 3, we decided to return to our home country. Having a child made me understand even more how incomprehensible Stella's actions years ago were. How could someone dare to do anything for money? After returning home, I heard news about Lily again. She had dropped out of school before even finishing middle school, followed some delinquents, wandered around, and resorted to petty theft when out of money. One rainy night, she was caught stealing a motorcycle. During the struggle, she stabbed one person to death and another, reportedly her boyfriend. She was old enough to be held criminally responsible. No one could save her this time. In prison, she continuously demanded to see me. I thought it was time to close all chapters. Through the glass partition of the prison, I almost didn't recognize Lily. The illness from her childhood had left her thin and weak. Her face was sallow as she said, "Auntie, all these years I've kept having the same dream. In the dream, I killed you in my previous life. You keep asking me why I treated you so well, yet I had the heart to take your life. That was just a dream, wasn't it, Auntie?" I smiled without answering. Leaving the prison, my husband was waiting by the car, gently kissing my forehead. Our daughter had fallen asleep while waiting for me. Her chubby, adorable face, tilted in sleep, made the happiness in that moment feel strangely real. Before going to Milan, I had changed my name. The Fanny, Fan in Zhang Fanny, Truong Fan Fan, was given by my father. He hoped I could bring forth a younger brother. I changed it myself to Jiang Pingzai, using my mother's surname. In this life, I only wish to live a peaceful and brilliant life.